As an exercise in trying to lay out networks, I'm going to think about my home as a network. So I'm going to think about particular areas within my home as representing nodes, and then the space between, or doorways, or whatever separating these spaces, we can think of as edges or connections between these different nodes. And we can think about the weights on different edges as maybe representing how difficult is it to move from one part of the house to another. And using that, I want to ask a question, which is what sorts of parts of the home do I like? And is there something about the network structure of the home, of my home, that affects which particular areas I like best? So we're going to come in the front door, and that takes us to the front foyer. Um, Off to the one side, I've got my front room that I don't really use a whole lot. This is only connected to the foyer. It's kind of, we could think about it being connected to my breakfast nook, but mostly, at least right now, it's just kind of become a dumping ground, right? Nothing really interesting is going on there. All right, so then we've got the breakfast nook, and from the breakfast nook, where can I go? Well, I've got the kitchen. All right, so the kitchen is going to be a special place, not because of the network structure of my home, but because of what it is that that node does. But that might impact how I like other parts of my home. All right, now off the breakfast nook, I've got the space just beneath the stairs to upstairs. So I'm just going to leave an arrow so that I can kind of jump over to another part of the page rather than try to put two floors onto one piece of paper. And then over here, I've got the bathroom, which of course is another node that's going to be special, not because of the network structure, but because of the function of the room itself. All right, then from the kitchen, I can go into the back room. Call that a living room, I guess. And from the living room, we go to outside. That's where I've got the back door. All right, so this is basically the the first floor of my home. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second floor. Oh, I should have put that up here. Let's put that up here. This will be fine. All right, so here's from downstairs. I'll denote upstairs over here. So there's the top of the stairs. From the top of the stairs, I've got the master bedroom. And in the master bedroom, we also have another bathroom. Small bathroom, but it's a bathroom. From here, I've got sort of a loft space. This is like a reading room in my house. And then from there, I've got a space between the back two bedrooms. So over here, this is the one I'm using as my office. And then this is another bedroom, but really this is, that's the guest bedroom, but it's also what my partner Dana is using as her office. So here we've got a pretty simple network structure. Now this is, anytime you're dealing with a network, if it has a bunch of nodes, it becomes really difficult to actually visualize. So this is a pretty simple network, but this is a good starting point. It's a good exercise in laying out a network, and then we can use this to think about how we might represent this, particularly how we might represent this in a way that we can get the computer to do hard work for us. We can also think about, in this context, looking at this, again, what we were starting with, is there anything special about any particular spaces? So my office, I like my office. Now, part of it is that it's set up as my office, but another part of it I like is that it is isolated, right? So to get from my office to the outside, I've got to go all the way down the stairs and then probably out the front door, right? So it's a long path from the scary outside world to my warm, comfy office. That might not work so well if I was in a spot like the Nook, which is kind of a central location. It's between the front door and the back door. It's on the way to upstairs. So the Nook is not a quiet place. This front room could be a quiet place, but we don't see this on the network structure, but this is sort of all one room here, right? The actual space is shaped like that. So we could kind of, in a way, lump these together. All right, so that is just a really quick demonstration of making a network. I'm going to do a separate video to think about representing this not in a graphical form, but in a more numerical data form.